Goddess, High Priestess, Empress, Alba La Panthera. Welcome to the Vibes. Shout out to the new viewers, new subscribers. Major shout out to those of you that are the members and returning viewers. Much love to you all. Shout out to Archangel Uriel, always with my frequency. That is a direct connection to the way I channel my messages. The energy angle, arc-angle of the abyss, bringing things out and through abysmal situations, experiences, and so on and so forth. So we're going to see what the vibe is here. For the collective, we are approaching the new moon in Sagittarius. That will be on the 19th. What is that? 1943. So 8:43 Eastern Standard Time. 8:43 p.m. 12:19. And it's quite an event. It's certainly one of them new moons, okay? Where it's moving more so as an ignition point with all of the other surrounding energies we have connected to it. Give me 1 second. Hold up. Be back. Let me give y'all a few to get the notifications too, so we can vibe through these messages together. Not only is the moon gonna be in Sag, we got Mercury in Sag, Venus in Sag. Yo. So this could even be refining downloads, especially with the Sagittarius energy, refining downloads of a higher perspective, in a sense of being able to put words to the bigger picture with Mercury and Sag, along with the royal star Antares. Mercury will be on the royal star Antares, which speaks of the energies of great power that has to do with one, having that power, also having a connection to powerful people. It also carries the energy of wars. It's connected to Archangel Uriel. So if you're someone with Sagittarius placements, let's say, 8 to 10, you can even go 7 to 12 around there. This certainly, you'll feel a major shift, especially Sagittarius and mutable signs within those degrees. All right, so yeah, it's definitely not going to be a gentle new moon, not at all. When we look at the energy of Sagittarius, if we're looking at it from a house perspective, the mantra of the 9th house, which Sagittarius rules, says, I see, connected to the mind's eye, pineal gland type of vibration. So this new moon in Sagittarius that we are going to be experiencing the 19th at 8:43 Eastern Standard Time. But you over here typing. Yeah, you gotta go. You just over here doing nothing. All right. This would be at 28 degrees, which that in itself is very powerful, which carries the seals of completion, reckoning, and a sovereign choice that'll be made amongst the collective from now and up to the next 6 months. During that time, the ascendant will be on Leo ascendant energy. So it certainly opens up chambers of creation, pleasure, self-expression, eros, the re-enchantment of life per se, joy, The legacy of fire, the legacy aligned to one's passions. This is basically you claiming yourself as the author of your own story. The ignition of you claiming authorship of your own story, as broad as a perspective as it may be, or as mythologically as it may be. So when it comes to the way that you perceive your reality, you're signing your name on it. You're signing your name on your own contract, not the contract that you were indoctrinated to believe in. And this comes out again. This comes out once again. This came out yesterday. Mother of life, nourishment, 555 on a timer. For some of you, that could be part of the story where you are becoming the mother of yourself and seeing the value in that, and not so much the guilt and shame as to why you even have to move that way, whether you have a mother that's here on the other side. So this goes beyond the energy of forgiveness. Is what you do after that forgiveness, because it's very easy to be wrapped into a web where, because you're not moving in a way where others perceive what forgiveness is, basically because there's forgiveness, there should be a reconciliation with the energy, when not necessarily so, especially when only, the change is just one-sided. And in most cases where there is a level of forgiveness, a true level of forgiveness, it may be one-sided more often than not. Especially when it comes to the reasons as to why there is an absence of reconciliation with an energy or the person that embodies that level of energy that you have finally decided to, some of you may have been waiting to exhale. You're finally going to find your rhythm, your breathing pattern, your rhythm. So you're finding your rhythm in your breath, being able to fully inhale and exhale, because you're now seeing where things and situations, why they were stagnant, why certain cycles continue to repeat themselves. And in doing so, you have, I'm heard, mastered, mustering up the strength to be the head of household for yourself. Now, the head of household, when we're looking at this from a biblical text, that's head of household is equivalent to the word Lord. So whenever you come across that word, for my biblical readers, when you come across that word Lord, it's speaking to the head that is sitting on your shoulders. Big Sagittarius energy right now. When it comes to speaking on different ideologies, when it comes to belief systems and so on and so forth. There's going to be a reset here in one's creative authority. Okay. Being able to express your truth through your voice, your arts, what it is that you teach. For some of you, telling your story could be the way that you flirt. Others, literal storytelling and unapologetic speech. A deeper resonance with the fact that words initiate timelines, and even more so now. So that way you can solidify different structures that reflect maturity. So solidifying what it is that you're seeing, the meaning of things during Sagittarius season. So when you approach Capricorn, you're able to now set a new structure based off of the transformation that happened before Sagittarius season, Scorpio season, as a result of seeing what it was that no longer serves you in matters of significant relationships, specifically one-on-one, that reflected versions of who you're actually not, because the reflection of Libra is Aries, And a lot of the transformations that you've had during Scorpio season may have been endings that had to do with where, you're seeing that the value that you have for yourself is not being reciprocated by another, not so much forcing another to see your worth, but more so because you know who you are and they choose to move otherwise. You know what I'm saying? You put in us all stops to this ain't happening no more type of vibe. And now it changes the way you process your thoughts so that we are able to see things clearly. Processing thoughts, the change in neural pathways, which is the major significance of Uranus going into Gemini, but it has gone retrograde back into Taurus. So now it's it's helping you to reassess these sudden enlightenments that happen through your senses before you even process it as a thought going into Gemini, or a thinking pattern, meaning that the what it is that you're thinking about is just shifting until it lands and it becomes a thought. Okay. So now in Sagittarius season, you're seeing clearly, well, it's the season for that, to see the bigger picture clearer. It's a bigger picture, but being able to see that bigger picture clearer. And with that being said, going into Capricorn season, being able to set things into its different structures. And once you approach Aquarius, you can now reestablish the knowledge or the knowing that you have of that in connection to your willpower. The reflection of Aquarius is Leo. So now you can reestablish a new set of beliefs based on what you know. But shit's been going backwards. And this is the reason for, not the reason, but the result of this level of information either not being known by the majority collective wise, or indoctrination happening, is what's had a lot of generations in the past moving with beliefs at the forefront that they have no knowledge about. So now that's developing scarcity tactics, impoverished mindset, ignorance as bliss when it's not. Bliss is an energy of a higher state. Ignorance is literally ignoring that thereof and choosing to just go with someone else's flow and not necessarily one's own. And in most cases, one is not able to follow their own flow because of, a debilitated root chakra or foundation. So let's see what's coming through with this here. Yeah, this is, certainly pillar of light, mother of life, pillar of light. Yeah, this is strongly feeling as though you yourself are that pillar of light, but being more than okay with that. That's the level of maturity that's kicking in. What's this planet? Mars. Wow. For some of you, the type of relationships that you've encountered had to do with the lack of nourishment and nurturing from either a mother figure or home setting, that you may have rushed to do certain things in order to at least find some sort of security or grounding within yourself. And it's until one wakes up out of that slumber, then you realize where this started, but realizing where it started from a higher perspective, meaning instead of pointing the finger and blaming that parent, mother or father, you're now seeing it from the side of, why did you as a soul, really coming from that higher perspective, why did you as a spirit and soul choose this particular pairing to bring you into this world? And the answer is literally in the problem. To overcome all of those problems, to reset all of that all those levels of stagnation and confusion. an absence of knowing oneself. By going through, you know, it could be something where you've seen them struggle in a way, and you had the level of maturity to see that level of struggle, and you probably had to grow up sooner than you had to or intended to, basically not really having a childhood per se. So now it may have developed a character within yourself, a legit character, where you had this fighting spirit that was more so impulsive to a detriment than it was helpful. But again, a lot of the solutions, as we're explaining or stating these quote unquote problems, are more so the solution. When you see the problem, you can name the problem, you can see the solution. You see the solution, or the solution would be, okay, this is the problem. What type of conversation would you have to come up with the solution, especially with where there's someone else involved? What conversation would you have for there to be a solution? And within that solution, you notice that there's certain things you're saying that you wouldn't do that brings about the problem. Now it's time to move on from even having that conversation here for some of you, and you moving in matters of that solution, that conversation, basically setting a new standard, going in a new direction. You got the physical energy, drive, and strength and fighting spirit for a reason. Now it's just a matter of utilizing that appropriately. What else shows up here? The sun. Because this may have had a major effect. For some of you, this could have something to do with a father, where something could have been more so influenced based on the situation with a father, where the situation with the father may not directly be with you, but it could be something that you've seen in your environment that had an influence on who you are and what you chose as even a career path, or what you thought your soul path and purpose was. Now, all that you've done up to this point, it can certainly be useful. Don't feel as though you've done certain things and you did them for absolutely no reason. No, because you've most certainly have learned certain things about yourself along the journey. Because if you feel as though you wasted your time, although granted it may appear that way as you're going through situations, be mindful that when you utilize that verbiage of wasting your time, you're now inviting the energy and frequency of waste in your body just by saying that. This is why you'll hear that statement about someone who is applying wisdom and knowledge. You may not hear them express themselves much. They may also be conscientious as to the way that they express themselves to themselves internally. Because even if you don't hear it audibly, literally through your ears, because it's something that is external to you, you can say something within yourself and you still hear a voice. So it's just as if you were listening to that. Either someone is speaking to you, you're on the phone, you're listening to music. It's the same thing when you're having a conversation with yourself. You can legitimately hear a voice. So with that being said, you know, just be more aware as to the conversations you're having with yourself. Okay? Let's see what else shows up here. Welcome, y'all. I opened it right to it. It opened right to it. What page is that? 117, January 17th, or literally almost a month away from now. So the number 30 could be of significance. Beings of light and divinity are calling you now. They desire to connect with you more strongly, and you are being guided to strengthen your energy field. This is the same type of frequency that was coming through yesterday as well, with this card also showing up. So there could be something here regarding Venus. Some of you have a strong connection to Venus, the planet, the actual planet Venus. You could be seeing information on your feed come through regarding Venus. You certainly have ancestors, energetic guides, and teachers that are working with you at this time, especially the closer that 3-eye atlas gets to us. While it's basically in the constellation of Virgo, or something about Virgo, but it's giving you details. Really take note of the synchronicities you're receiving in numbers. Really take the moment. Do not be lazy and jot those numbers down. Those are direct messages. Become more enchanted and enlightened with these synchronicities of numbers, as if you were receiving a DM from somebody you have a crush on. All right. Why is that so significant? I'm going to go back to that, but why is this so significant? That came out, see? 2 cards came out yesterday. Mother of Life and Hot Air Balloon. 8 of Leo, 8-8 portal. What's happening with Regulus? So something about the winter solstice. Archangel Raphael. Healing. Healing of the root. Ancestry. Mother on both sides. Venus has to do with core values. If one is not aligned with their own core values, this is what causes people to believe in things that they don't know. Because now they're investing their worth into something of power that they are not aware of. Venus, Taurus, power, Scorpio, 2nd house, 8th house, 2nd house of worth, core values, 8th house of where you're placing that worth into. So 8th house really speaks about powerful people. That can bring forth a massive change in your life. Inheritance. Generational wealth. But if one is not aware of their core value, it becomes generational, impoverished mindsets and ways of being. So we got here balance, uplifting, freedom, going with the flow, rise above, don't resist the new perspective, elevate, don't resist a new perspective. Wow, there's 2 sitting right here though. I'll get that. 3 actually. What's this? Happening soon. Okay. Roundabout. Happening soon. Connections, new directions. Keep it moving. Artists, vocalists. Speaking of, Sagittarius. We got Capricorn here, 383. 86, 383. 3 years. There could be a significant anniversary of March to 83 to March 86. Yeah, see, yeah. Happening soon. I just heard rise above it. Rise above it. There could be some sort of communication that's coming in just to emotionally disturb you, but it won't be able to. Roundabout, something's coming around again. Let me see here. This was this way. Yeah, this could be something attempting to take another shot to slow you down, slow your progression down, but that ain't happening. It's not happening, especially if you're here. Regardless of what your current circumstances are at this time, speaking to the collective, anything or anyone against the collective, it's all right now. I'm speaking to the collective that is rising above it. Happening soon. But you got 83, August 3rd, 83, 38. Happening soon. Hold on. This situation or event in question will develop or unfold very soon. Honestly, this is the way the energy is coming through. You see how close happening soon is to roundabout? Wait, I gotta, hold on. There you go. That's a bit better. Okay. You see how close happening soon is to roundabout? But what I'm being drawn to is new direction. So we're going to do this right here. Right here. I'm going to move it away from it. Not too close. Just move it away from it just for perspective purposes. We already got someone taking a shot at something here over that way. But I want to focus on this right here first because that's where I'm being drawn to. So let's see something. Because there's been this level of you hitting rock bottom, literally just for you to strengthen your energetic broadband within you, your connection. So that way you can receive the messages or awareness or alerts or warnings much smoother. So that way the energy can be transmitted so you're aware of what you're being guided to rise above when it comes to communication. As you're going in a new direction, yeah, literally, these are both threes, Pisces. That's 12th house energy. And this could be somebody you work with or someone reminding you of a past version of yourself that you may be carrying a wound in regards to you being recognized or really stepping into your purpose. If it's not direct communication, this can come up as a memory that pops up. Let's say it's a memory that pops up of something in regards to any type of rumors or slander and all that other nonsense. I'm hearing divine justice is being served at this time. So this is why you would have to move accordingly, rise above it. Rise above it. This could have something to do with pets. Now they say pay attention to these two. I see what it is. Say pay attention to these two. Aiming in a direction that you're not in. You're here. But because you've gone through those lessons and you have, somebody could be going through something in regards to refinance. You have revitalized your energy. You're now more aware as to where you have to position yourself. So that way, when anything or anyone is coming towards you that is not for you, coming back around, because you voiced and you broadcasted, okay, this information to the higher council, your spirit guides, your protectors, whatever it is that you go to of a higher power that works with your higher self, when you broadcasted that information, it literally helped to recalibrate the way your mind and heart in alignment with your body functions, because something was happening soon where there was an energy that was going to attempt to come around. This, you could even have a dream of something that's about to happen, and you've been getting prepared for this particular event by having dreams of just the smallest things occurring, and in not even 48 hours you're seeing what you dream of occur in your waking reality, because it was building your bodily awareness, the coherence between your brain and your heart, so that way you have a stronger connection to be aware enough as to when to position yourself, because there's going to be an attempt to distract you. Something's going to 3222. Something attempted to come back around to distract you with some bullshit. And in the midst of that, you're also seeing as to why this energy is constantly surrounded by this level of stagnancy, impoverished mindset, impoverished situations, and all this other bullshit. Meanwhile, had they just listened to you from the get-go, they wouldn't be in this fucking situation where now they can't even reach you. That just switched quite quickly there. Show me this. Fehu. That's the rune of Muni, money. Well, it's actually Ansu, excuse me. But Fehu could also be a significance of wealth. But, messenger, signals, literally. There are no coincidences. Be attentive and aware of the wise one, aligning with the positive in the negative, aligning with the positive in the... Man, listen. Warnings are a gift. Yeah, this could be someone from the past where they may have done a cleanse when it comes to you specifically, but they misjudged you. They misjudged you, and their cleanse, when it comes to something they perceive that you did towards them, actually binded them. That could be of significance here as well. Severe consequences inevitable. Telling you, the card match too. Somebody could be born the year of the pig. See, 83 is very significant, is up here. And that's what's not together here. Anyway, 1995, 2007, or these years specifically. Show me about this. Show me, before we go there, let me look at this here. You got severe consequences inevitable. Have the conversation with yourself first. Got something to do with family. We got no. And then we have T-wise. Warrior energy. Spiritual warrior. So we got Aries showing up. Spiritual warrior. Patience is a virtue. Look inwardly. Have the conversation with yourself, especially when it comes to a family member. That could be part of the issue too, where there's people having conversations about you just running their fucking mouth and gossiping and shit all day in and out, and this is why they constantly in poverty. What is higher than the self is the self becoming higher, obtaining victory and success in battle. Yeah, collective. Let's get it. So let me see. I know this right here go together. Who's that? Let's see. Because that Venus energy kicked in. Let me see. Actually, in the year of the horse as the year of the pig, yeah, that's when things begin to lift itself for you, where you now are able to float on water. We have 20. Uncertainty. Well, uncertainty, distrust, guarded. Hold on. Let me see. What's Alpha Draconian? Corrupt, unethical, cults. Let's see. What number is that? 203. So February is certainly significant. 203, that's Aquarius. This could be a group of people. Family. Then we have certainly a group of family members, group of them. 2032. February 3rd to the 5th. February 3rd to the 5th, we're looking at what deacon is that? That's second deacon of Aquarius. So that's Six of Swords. You could, yeah, you could certainly be moving away. Six of Swords. You could be moving away from a situation, not really knowing what your next step is, but where you're going next is certainly guided by source, universe, your angels, spirit guides, protectors. Hold up. Let's go. Where are... Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Life lessons and integration of life lessons. The pig. There's two things about the pig. Someone squealing, someone who talks too much, but then you have another side of someone who was born 95, 2007, 83, that's actually being liberated from that type of nonsense, of people that they can't trust. They've integrated those lessons. Two of Pentacles, Jupiter and Capricorn. Yeah, integration of literally the language of integration, Jupiter, Capricorn, lessons, Saturn. A lot of things were being held back just for that particular reason. But what was allowed to come forward during this moment of going through lessons was specifically for that, which is why those things that are of bliss and reward you may have felt as though was hidden from you or was never going to come towards you, especially going through certain lessons that literally could have wiped you out. You felt as though it could have wiped you out, whether financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, however. But you're seeing things clearly now, happening soon. 4011. There's information that's coming towards you that's going to help you make the proper move, choice, and decision moving forward. Has a lot to do with your creation. 22, master builder number, Taurus energy could be of significance. That's Venus, which is why I picked up this deck. What's at the bottom? Andromedans. 2 and a 2, bring it to a 4. Not necessarily when you're looking at life path numbers. However, with this Andromedan energy, star seed, star soul. Some of you could literally come from Andromeda. So with that being said, you might be someone who can't eat certain things. You have the way that you process food is more from a liquid state. It fills you up more. So you could be someone who's a frugivore, however you say that, where you prefer to eat fruits and veggies more than anything else. And it's become much more, the number 4 is very significant, life path 4. So this could also be with stability, foundations, and things of that nature as well. A lot of movement, choices, and decisions had a lot to do with the connection of your sacral. So between the ages of 7 and 14 is also significant. A lot of what you've seen between 7 and 14 indicated decisions you made specifically at 20, others of you 32. 9 is, 7 to 9 is a strong point when it comes to what may have developed uncertainty, distrust, leading into you feeling guarded, being guarded. An example of the problem is also in the solution. That level of density and problems and issues or whatever was also showing you how to see warning signs in matters of things that, are not for you before you even engage in them. Yeah, mental conflict, attachment. What's this? Memories of love, 6 of Cups. Certainly having to do with relationships for sure. Memories of love, what you saw growing up when it comes to love and partnerships had a major effect on you. So let's get up out of this here. We know that already, right? Current situation, we mentioned it already. 6 of Swords, 203 to 205. Moving out of a situation. Currently, movement out of a situation. The plan to do so. Others of you are in motion already. Especially when it comes to trusting the awareness of your body and where it's guiding you to go. You're no longer using past situations where you didn't feel rooted, grounded, or safe to even make decisions for yourself without feeling guilty or shameful about it. With that red around her neck, where you're not being able to tell the truth to yourself, at least, at most. But at least at one point couldn't do so. I'm saying at one point couldn't do so because you're shifting out of that right here, right now. And if you're wondering, is this the right choice? Especially if it has to do with something that you love to do and it's not coming from a space of still feeling and processing your thoughts as the wounded version of yourself, this is what's going to allow you to step into the level of wealth where you're sitting beyond comfortable, where some of you may even be in this stage already. You may already be here in this Queen of Pentacles energy, self-made. You have your own business. It's successful. But the one thing that could be missing with the memories of love cards showing up here is that genuine ideal partner for you energetically to move forward with and share that bliss of, what it is that you accomplish and will continue to do so. Right? What up, Sunborn? Welcome, beloved. Ooh, I'm gonna keep hitting the screen, man. What's challenge here? What's the challenge here for the collective? See what's crossing the Six of Swords. Wow. Of all cards, your challenge has to do with, some of you, there's something in regards to 10th house. You could also have strong Cancer placements. Your challenge is victory and success, allowing yourself to enjoy the victory and success. Ooh, 10th house, there it goes. What's that behind it? 8 of Pentacles. So, 10 of Wands, peeping through here, Saturn and Sagittarius. So there was lessons that you're now integrating when it comes to your higher mind. So you may have come across delusional when it comes to people and doing things that actually worked for you that would allow you to move forward. For instance, let's say you're moving from one state to another, and to a practical mind, they would have to have this, this, and this, and this in order to move. You just going on faith. And everything that they said that you would have to have literally lands on your lap because you have chosen, and you are, to take that decision, to make that decision, to move on faith. Faith is not hope. Those that really have that mindset of a practical mindset that they feel as though they have to have this and that and this and that in order to move forward, they lack faith, genuinely lack faith. And awareness of themselves. And knowing of themselves. When you have awareness, knowledge, faith in yourself, that's when you're able to take leaps of faith. Where you trust and know that all is well and will be taken care of, that all you have to do is take that move, make that move. Obviously, one has to develop that muscle to be able to do so. So this is where that energy comes in regards to you hitting rock bottom at some point in your life was actually the recalibration of your broadband, where you're able to have that source and higher self recalibration energy transmission through your body. So when this particular moment, now current situation of you moving forward, the only challenge is past situations where you felt as though you weren't successful and taking that leap of faith. That challenge is presenting itself now, but you have the awareness, you have the knowledge, you have the lessons. All you have to do is integrate it. All you have to do is use the muscle that you've developed when it comes to having faith in yourself. You've the way to have faith in yourself when you're taking leaps of faith and in the past it may have not gone as expected, most cases is because that was going to put you in a very comfortable state where you get lazy. I'm not saying comfort is right or wrong, good or bad, or comfort is beautiful. It's amazing. But when it makes you lazy and the reason why comfort would make you lazy, let's go that route too. The reason why comfort would make you lazy is if you've aligned with a certain level of victory and success from a wounded state. And sometimes that has to happen so that way you do experience that moment, but at the same time, it's almost as if it's an off season. It's just an off season. You got to get back up and get back into preseason, get into the season, and so on and so forth. This time, however, now you are, what's the best example I can give to this? You are basically the owner of the team. You don't have to be at practice. You don't have to be at the games. You know what I'm saying? But you're still getting paid because you moved in a way that allows you to have ownership or authorship of your story now. So a lot of times when you are experiencing a level of success and you feel as though you hit another level of rock bottom, it's because there's still lessons that have to be integrated that weren't fully integrated when you made that move the first time. But the way this is showing itself right now, for the Six of Wands to be a challenge, it means that now you're ready for that step, especially with Saturn and Neptune that's about to go back into Aries. Makes total sense. Because now you're comfortable and ready to be that pioneer, that innovator. Which means what anyone feels or thinks about what it is that you're doing, what you got going on, it may seem delusional to them. How they feel about what you got going on is none of your business. That's their business. Because they could use that same fucking energy to go take care of themselves and do what the fuck they got to do for themselves. So, with the world here at the bottom of the deck, this is the end of a cycle. Literally, end of a cycle. The end of a cycle comes when you are able to move on from something without any hatred, malice, or still feeling wounded, guilty, or shameful about something closing out. You just allow it to just close out. Because why hold on to that energy any longer? For what? What's at the basis of this? What's at the foundation here? The way we're going to look at this card is from a Saturn perspective, the root chakra, in this message in particular, where you go through hurdles in order to run a complete race. Here. What's the foundation of this? Okay. That was the Fool card. Shit. Wow. Because, okay, let me mention it then. At some point, the Fool card has to show up on this spread. Because that's the card of a leap of faith. Ooh. That makes sense. This literally makes sense. Self-sabotaging thoughts is the foundation of this energy right now, which is why victory and success is a challenge. But you're ready to move forward. You're ready to make a decision to move forward. But you're going to have to get out of this self-sabotaging way of processing your next move. This is Aquarius energy, but this is Gemini. So you know what you have to do. So we're looking at this from a Saturn perspective. Specifically, because this is Jupiter and Gemini, it's time to integrate the lessons of siblings that you actually can't trust, or people that you consider siblings that you may say sis or bro to. That's the cycle that's closing here, where you're realizing how much you were there for others, and that same energy wasn't reciprocated. It's literally in saying that, more so from the perspective of universal law. There was a breach of universal law energetically, so they were moving from a different vibration known as ignorance or absence of knowledge. Some of them had the knowledge but chose to ignore it, ignorance, and some didn't have the knowledge, but they may have placed themselves in a state of arrogance where they didn't desire to hear you out and where you were coming from. 55 on a timer up there. You have the key, but this is Chiron energy. So we got Chiron, Taurus. In terms of the key, this is a Taurus card, more so Mercury and Taurus. But then you have here the Eight of Swords, which is a Jupiter. So this could be someone who has Chiron and Gemini or Chiron and Taurus. Where your deepest wounds, as far as Taurus has to do with core values and trusting the wisdom of your body, might be so numb to your senses that it makes it a lot more challenging to really see where it is that you're not supposed to go, really. And then with Gemini, Chiron and Gemini has to do, this could be someone who's shy to speak. My head just started tingling as I said that. You know exactly what you know, but you may be attached to someone else's perception of you. Can you tell me more about this? No, they said no. Go to the immediate past, but at the bottom we have, okay, Saturn and Pisces. You could be going through your Saturn return right now, where you're walking away from this type of situation between the ages of 28 and 30. You're now walking into a new dawn, walking away from something that you felt as though, you had a strong connection to, but while you were going through those connections, you weren't able to see, the truth behind the rose-colored glasses, Pisces energy, of things that were hidden from you. But the moment you began to trust in your own knowing and create your own beliefs is when things started to solidify itself, and you were able to see through people and motives. And now you're ready to walk towards a new dawn. At least subconsciously, this is the energy that is presenting itself towards you. It's coming through as a, how do you say, like you're literally charging up. Like the battery is charging up finally. What's in the immediate past position? Nine of Swords. Mars and Gemini. You had a lot to say in the past that you didn't get to say, which is why this Eight of Swords is at your foundation right now. Okay, so $66.89. $66.89. This here, this gap, that baby that I'm hearing right now, that baby is probably about 3 years old. So from the age of 3 to about 3 years ago is how long it took to close this gap. Something occurred at 3 years old that created this self-sabotaging type of energy. I have to look at this. I want details on this now. So, do I want to do this by images or do I? Let me go to these chakra cards. My fault. Here we go. You have been blaming yourself for something here. Said my fault. Choice, solar plexus. Something happened at 3 that had a major effect between 14 to 21, specifically 17. 8/17 could be significant, August 17th, or 2017, 2008 to 2017, Pluto and Capricorn, 2008. And the horse is here, Sagittarius season. You're seeing this now. The story of the zodiacs are the changes of the seasons. And each one carries a different faculty of your mind, a different discipline of the mind. So something is very significant around the time of Thanksgiving or something with family. Yeah. Some of you are going to have to say no. Family, no. Or you felt as though you didn't have family. Family, no. Family, no. Family, no. Mind you, you can't even see her face in this card either. It looks as though there isn't an actual body there. You didn't feel seen. Okay. You didn't feel seen. That carried on for quite a while. Something between, in regards to June 1st and June 10th, it hits a lot stronger. It may start off in Gemini season, May 2021. This energy starts off around then. So 17, wait, let me see. Something with the heart chakra as well. The malfunction of the heart chakra has to do with the solar plexus. Something is leaking. I mean, you hear of leaky gut, but there's something leaking. Let me see. Yeah, look, heart chakra is at the bottom of the deck in forgiveness. Okay. The leak has to do with forgiving and constantly reconciling. You don't have to do that. It's as if it's coming. What I'm getting is that there's someone who hears that through messages, but constantly reconciles with that which has constantly hurt them. See where that landed? The action one is constantly taken has to do with not feeling rooted, grounded, and secure. This gives the energy of a flamenco dancer, warding off negative energies. Yeah, this really has to do with telling family no. And for some of you, what's hidden in the midst of that is the fact that you move in a way where you say no, right? But because of the dynamic of this person, you feel as though you have to be there. because of a belief system possibly that has told you that if you don't do this, you can't go to heaven. Man, heaven's sitting right on top of your fucking shoulders. Just activate it. And you'll see how easy it is to see through all of that other extra shit that you've been taught. But I digress. Crowning this energy, let's see. The Four of Cups, Moon in Cancer. Gonna have to crowning this energy is the Four of Cups. Discontent, boredom. Some of you, look at this. You got the Chariot, the Hermit, the World card. Whatever's being said right now in this message, okay? Take what resonates, don't make it fit. I really feel as though whoever is resonating with this message is because everything that has been said, it's giving you information pretty much in chronological order. Okay? So, because this is something where the energy is so intelligent and ancient and primordial that it will look for any vessel that feels as though that it is of resonance, and it'll play it out. So much so you may even possibly forget your actual story, and then you'll interchange it with what it is that you've experienced, and now it becomes your story. Now you have something to say about it. Just giving you the truth as to the way energy works. It can't be created nor destroyed. It only transmutes itself. Because the way this here, I would say from this portion, that could be something that the collective would resonate with in terms of the current and the challenge. But the way we're turning through this now, yeah. Especially with the Chariot, the Hermit, the Six of Cups for a second time. Yeah, look at this. The Ace of Swords peeping through. Or the Hangman. Yeah, that's even the pause that I just made right now to state that message of clarity that came through about someone. Basically, this message is for the one who is ready to complete the cycle, not the one who's going to half-ass it. Half-ass this type of shit, you just going to lower your vibration into uncertainty. Look at that. The cards are just coming out saying it. You know? Yeah, look, happening now. The merge between the feminine and the masculine, the right brain, left brain. Inner wisdom. Universal light. Well, what is this? What's this Four of Cups? You're most welcome. You're most welcome. And you can continue, to watch the message, but that's just, and that's in any reading that you go into where it's collective. Just keep that in mind. Okay. So now we got the Strength card clarifying this Four of Cups. I heard a sun, someone's sun, Moon in Cancer, sun, a sun with the moon, a Leo, Moon in Cancer energy. Someone could have a mother that's a Leo, or felt as though that she constantly sacrificed herself. And never walked away from something that no longer served. King of Wands, Leo. Yeah, look at this. Because these are two, it seems as though it's two different cultures. There's something about a disagreement of family members, a disagreement of a choice someone made in a relationship. We got the Magician. Wow. And the Death card. 1 1 13 1 8 13 18 01 18 118. I just heard someone is actually a miracle. Something occurred where it's miraculous, where somebody wasn't supposed to make it. Yeah. Someone, that's an NDE, a near-death experience type of scenario there. Hold on, because this shit about to get... Mhm. He's gonna do... Uncle Timmy is coming for you. And the authorities about to come for you. All they got to do is search where you're coming from and your location, because I do have connections for that to happen, and they will find you for writing those type of comments, and the real Uncle Timmy will be coming for you. Okay? And then next stop for you will be the abyss. Actually, Jesus did Reiki. He was actually the one that flipped the tables on a comment and energy as your own as well. Yeah, look at this. Absolutely, they got juvie for you. There's juvie as well, you know? Just saying. So, let me help y'all out real quick. You'll be advised. Think I'm playing with y'all? So we on to something here. Disclosing the hidden. Absolutely. There is certainly a strong connection here from a maternal figure. Exactly. They got no business here. You already know. There's a strong connection to a maternal figure here. On both sides. Or just a mother figure. Let me see. Let me grab one of the oracles. Oh, the white buffalo calf woman, which is certainly the energy, as I was saying what I was saying just a minute ago, to those two, carries this frequency where there's a collective that should know better, but move in ignorance and arrogance, and they fuck around and find out. And then there are those that are blessed with the information. Let's go to the white buffalo calf woman. I'm the right one. A person want to troll if they want to find out what that means. Let me just look through the index, the contents. 154. That's a 10, a 1. We're going to take it from here. The Lakota legend says that 2 young scouts went out in search of food during a famine. They saw a stunningly beautiful woman appear before them in a radiant white light. The first scout approached her with unholy intentions. What is this that says here? As we're speaking of holy knowledge, and you got energy showing up with unholy intention. And the second scout watched as the first man turned to bones the instant he attempted to touch her or this channel or collective. Just saying. So that's what that came out for. We're going to continue. Show me what's happening next here. The Emperor. You're fucking right. This shit is hilarious to me. Hold on. You would have, if you were a reader and you tapped and you're tuned into tarot, you see why I'm over here rolling right now. But the Emperor is significant, right? Ashe. Of the divine masculine. We already saw how the lion, the king of wands, came out. So this is actually someone who's highly attractive too. So, okay, we're going to put this together. Let's say you are divine, empress, goddess, high priestess, mystic, whatever woman, female energy you carry, and you move as the female or the feminine. You were constantly attracting those who, or aligning with those who were highly attractive with the King of Wands energy that showed up. But it constantly placed you into this incompletion. 7722 showed up on the timer. Incompletion, and the relationship or the connection would always end. And that which is for you in this lifetime won't have an ending, even in eternal life, because you embody eternal life. So we're going to speak to it from that aspect. Now, what's happening next is that you're encountering the Emperor frequency. It's an energy where ambitions are being met and success is found. That's what's happening next, which is aligning with the message of what is your challenge. It's the actual card of victory and success, and confirming that challenge. And you're worried about, is this going to be something that is successful? Yes. Whatever it is that you choose to make a decision on, as long as it's in alignment to the truth of your identity. Now, Chiron and Aries right now is helping each and every one of you to bring to the surface anything that has been obstructing your view when it comes to the truth of your identity. Especially from the way that you move and take actions, divine masculine frequency, and remaining in your authority and power. Where's Saturn at on the table? Well, it was showing up in matters of the 10 of Wands that was peeping through as you were going through the spread. But you're most welcome. Remain flexible and keenly aware of your own energetic boundaries and motives. With the Emperor coming out as far as what's next, it's important to remain flexible and keenly aware of your own energetic boundaries and motives. What does that go back to? The message that we had in the beginning, where you're on the verge, happening soon, of elevating, feeling amazing, uplifted, happening soon. But there could be something, this something is communication that's coming back around as you're going in a new direction. But as you're going in a new direction, there's a challenge showing up when it comes to communication in regards to what you consider victory and success. Attempting, okay, with arrogance and a sharp tongue, attempting to be witty to get you off track, but don't allow it to. That we just encountered within the chat is a perfect example of that. But when you remain in your power, your true essence, the prophetess of the sacred way, and you follow the compass of your heart, what you love to do, Isis will handle that ass every fucking time. The energy of Isis will handle that every fucking time. Where the waters within the person will dry the fuck on up. Just saying. Show me the Emperor. The Emperor, I'm not going to say show me the Emperor because the Emperor is actually connected to what's happening in your environment, which is this position here. So I'm going to move y'all over here so we can see what we got coming up next. Let's see the advice. What's the advice for the collective? Ooh, that was a Two of Wands, Mars and Aries. Now, first advice is don't be impulsive, but don't compare yourself. Don't procrastinate either. Oh, wow. Beginning stages of love that aligns with the iridescent versions of you, the full light spectrum of you. I just heard, don't fuck this up. Moving in a way that is in connection to your past, because it's not the past version. So much so you'll know it's not the past version of an encounter or a connection, because you'll be able to have conversations that in past situations you may have come across as, oh, you're thinking too much, or they just wasn't agreeing with what you had to say. Not to say that this new connection is something that they're always agreeing with you. No. If they disagree, it actually, it's okay. It's just, it's a healthy conversation. If we can get the words out at this point. That could be of significance too, where there's so much you desire to say and you can actually say it this time, and you don't have the words to express it. But even within that, the beauty of this connection is that they still hear you. They can still hear you. You've obviously sacrificed a lot in the past, so much so sleepless nights, anxiety, worried about what's happening next, which is what invokes anxiety. Tell me more about this. Look at this. There's Two of Cups. This divine love connection. This could even be with yourself. 102, 3. With your own way of expressing yourself and really managing the use of your willpower. Yes, you can do this and you can do that, but now you're being more mindful as to where it is that you're placing your energy, because you are aware of your core values. Sprucing up your image could also be helpful, specifically when it comes to the nose. Smell goods could be of significance. Aromatherapy. Tell me more about the Two of Cups. One more. You saw that? That was a Justice. I'm being drawn to the 8448. I'm being drawn to the eye right now, and it was 8448, which is a reflection, a mirror. A mirror and a reflection. That's the beauty of it. It's a mirror and a reflection. All right, I can't let my energy be around anyone. My garden. The world. Oh shit. This is given first and foremost a power dynamic or power couple, but this is also the completion of what isn't of that level of dynamic. It's time to close that out. Literally, this message just answered your question, just confirmed your question. It just confirmed your statement. Yeah. Protect your energy. Because there's only one that is true to the reignition of your passion, Ace of Wands, that is connected to your victory and success, which is also the challenge card here. There's six, well, yeah, 6 wands here, but only one can enter your energetic space, can enter your sphere, can enter where you are at. That's in alignment to what you can and are willing to do. Be. Now, because this is here, right, and we're being shown that it's time to close out cycles that are not in a connection to the version of you that's been developing and continue to do so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clarify the challenge of the 6 of Wands, being that it's here as a hidden message. This is Mars and Leo. So this could be you. The reason why you're able to actually move on from a certain dynamic of relationships, whether if it's platonic or romantic, is because of the level of protection or the remothering of yourself that you have given the inner child, Leo. Which is up there too. Six of Wands. Six of Wands. Aquarius, which was coming up too. It's bringing me back to this. Yeah, some of you, something in regards to a Taurus could be of significance. Saying no. You realize that all you have to do is say no. Say no to the perception of another, which leads you to now have further conversations with yourself first before anyone else. This is a card of the strategy. Look at that. Saturn and Leo. This is right before the 6 of Wands. So this is an Aquarius energy, which Aquarius ancient ruler is Saturn. So when it comes to the knowing of yourself, you've gone through quite the training season here. The number 5 could be of significance. 4 other people or 5 other people are significant in the training you've gone through. When you reflect on how far you've come, there are 5 significant situations or 5 people that have a prominent that play out a prominent character in your journey of life. I'm getting the energy of everyone has the opportunity to decide what their story is in someone else's story, especially when someone else, regards to them, is writing about the truth. And okay, shit. I'm actually saying what I'm saying right now and looking away from the cards, but I'm clarifying the Six of Wands because this showed up at the bottom of the deck and it shows up. But there's that. That's what it was then. Yeah. At this point. Literally went over here because this was at the bottom. The strategy is to protect your own inner child, be the mother and father to your inner child. Ain't that something? Look at that constellation. Cancer energy showing up here. 33, you met 333. You mastered the dynamic between the moon and Saturn. Then we have Scorpio here in the center. And remember, in regards to Aquarius energy, 11th house, that's also connected to this energy of friendships and groups and things of that nature. But there could have been that level of frequency where you may have had to tell no to people that were not actually blood related, but you may have considered them bro and sis, and it was moving more as the ones that you were blood related to. And you see why now, why there's a disconnect, as it should be, for the better arrangement and higher purpose of all. First class, skilled, intense, sharp tongues. First class, skilled, yo. That's why this strategy, you had to, it's going through the situations that were quote unquote traumatic was gonna actually connect you to the emotion of the actual strategy that's really designed to assist you to move forward without ever looking back. And the advice is you're about to see why, you know, that statement, you're about to see why the past was the past and why it should remain there. To another 7, Saturn and Taurus. There we go. Restricting the reward of you knowing your worth by placing you in these situations just so you can become strong enough, the training, 5 of Wands, just so you can become strong enough to trust your gut about things. But you have to go through it enough so you can recognize the warning signals. It's the game of life. The shit gets fun. It's a simulation at this fucking point. It's always been, honestly. Ready Player One? That type of shit. Yeah. What's in the environment? Show me this. It's not even that. How is the collective being viewed? Where do we stop at? People mad you left or you about to leave. People can sense you're leaving. Yep. Yes, they can. Either people can sense you're about to do something out of the blue, or you've done it and it shifted their entire world in a way that they didn't even recognize. This is giving the vibe of someone felt as though because you were around, probably in your beliefs, let's say you're someone who's into divination as well, and you're around family that is religious and what you do is demonic as fuck, when it's actually the other way around, but I digress. This is an example of they go through shit because your presence is around. And the moment you leave, years have gone by and the shit that they've been experiencing actually gets worse. basically stating that your presence was actually preventing an ass whooping. But there was a spiritual agreement to your presence, as far as long as you remain, as long as collective, which is A, remains in B's life up until they reach point C, the ass whooping won't be as hot. But if A, collective, removes themselves from B abruptly, everything that A, collective, was basically moving as a cover over this person unleashes itself. That's why the message that came out, is it still here? In regards to a cleanse that they do to remove your energy backfires. It was there, but it was in the pile. But this is the example of people who do cleanses or banishing spells or whatever towards people that they ain't got no business doing a banishing spell towards, because who that is actually someone that's protecting they dumbass. But because that level of protection or person was moving in the way that they was telling them the truth, and this dunce ass motherfucker can't take it, they proceed with the foolishness to do banishing spells and cleanses that actually binds them. So this is why they're seeing you as the reason as to why shit is turning into mega shit for them. And I'm not even talking about sugar, honey, iced tea. Shit getting real. Divine timing. Show me more. What's the tower? How they seen the collective? Shit crazy as fuck, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Judgment. I'm telling you. "2016 could be significant, actually. Very much so. They didn't realize how... This is Venus, Taurus. This is where Venus is coming into play. Hold up. Let me see something. Because with that being said, I'm about to fuck your head up. Hold on. Let me see something. Oh, shit. Arcturian architects and Orion Peachtree ambassadors. Libra, Taurus, Venus vibes. Restoration from Orion Wars. Yeah, this might be that. That might be. That's exactly that. That's why they guided me to go back to my, my little 1-2-1-2 that y'all get to see eventually. Help y'all with the mysticisms of life so you can get your shit in order or whatever. Many who fought and suffered in the Orion Wars incarnate. You could be a Libra, or this has to do with significant relationship one-on-one. This is crazy, though. The way people are viewing you, especially if you're into divination, some people could literally be looking at... That's probably what you could feel in terms of why you're also being guided to meditate. Why you could... This challenge of victory and success is an energy that's being projected towards you with people's thoughts about you. So much so that this how strongly you can feel it, because this is at the forefront of your mind. This is what's crowning the reading. This is at the forefront of your mind, where you sacrifice yourself for people, and they're also processing the way you've been with them, and they're feeling as though, oh, because you know the certain things or you're into certain things, they feel as though because you're no longer in their life and your life could be turning into shit at this point, that you're the reason for it, when you're the actual reason that was saving them from exactly what the fuck they're experiencing right now. 99-49. They don't fucking listen. So what else? Meditation is so beautiful. And meditation doesn't necessarily mean, you sitting still. Meditation is literally when you are in action and it flows. You don't have to over process what it is that you're doing. So whatever it is that you enjoy doing and you have a habit, or it's a ritual is a habit, that's a form of meditation. You enjoy journaling, it relaxes you. For some people, that means rolling up. That's meditation. I'm just saying. It be what it be. What else? How they viewing collective? Now I'm feeling as though somebody want to apologize and shit. Yeah, back the fuck up. Shit, thought about that shit before you started acting stupid. Fucking with collective. There your ass go now. Stupid. Telling you. Yeah. See, it's that but major arcanas. What's this? They walked away. They was hiding something. Oh, stupid you was. Yeah. For some of you, they could have went back towards something or someone in the past. Look at this. Look at this. The Justice, Seven of Swords. Hold on. You let go too easily. Yeah, there goes the Nine of Swords. In the past, you didn't do that. In the past, you was full on and fucking, I can't get no sleep. All that. Now, you done separated that energy. You said, fuck all the self-deception. I'm going to balance this shit out. Okay? Then you got the Five of Swords. This is Venus in Aquarius. You started recognizing, okay, we don't got the same core values. Mercury and Cancer. Some of you started hearing what the fuck they truly felt. Okay? To Saturn and Libra, where now you learned the lessons about a significant relationship, one-on-one. Ten of Cups, Mars and Pisces. You decided, all right, I'm going to move based on what the fuck I know and believe. Now they looking at you like you fucking crazy. That's on them. Someone wants to tell the truth about something here. It's nothing but major arcana showing up. So this is why I also said it could be an apology, because the Empress was showing up as what's next. So somebody could have rose to the occasion. You know what I'm saying? And talking to the moon and shit. Somebody is doing exactly what they told you about yourself, in the sense of, oh, you're crazy for doing this. You're crazy for believing in the moon. You're crazy for believing in tarot. That would be crazy to believe in something without the knowledge of it. So I would say in that sense they were correct, but their dunce ass wasn't smart and wise enough to recognize what was actually being stated. So therefore, let me leave these people alone. Wait, we got one more, because then but major arcana. So what else you got to say about collective? Right over here. They thought you was going to do the same thing you did before. What's this? They thought you was going to come back, rushing back. And it's something about either Sagittarius season or something. It's a family member, because that's usually when they thought it was going to be a do-over. No. The challenge is the fact that this shit came out. They thought you wasn't going to make the move. Because this has to do with the change of residence. which is also aligning with this here, Six of Swords, about moving forward, moving to a new location. Some of you, this is what you, when you release yourself from certain partnerships and dynamics, whatever it is that you have been desiring to align with, especially in regards to a move or change of residence with this Knight of Wands, that energy uplifts itself. So the way I would look at this here, right here, as far as the way you're being viewed, this would be the prime example of someone not knowing why they are against you. But it's because they embody an energy that is in alignment to be in the opposition of your highest vibration. 1919 on the time right now. 105.56 on the timer. 6:56. So this is there. This is something that is beyond the flesh. It could be a galactic reincarnation of a disturbance between one and another. With the Lion card up there, you could be a Lyran for sure. You could certainly be a Lyran. That had a time during the Orion Wars. Aries 4th house energy. Welcome, love. You know, so further advice for the collective. Not the devil. Not the devil. Not the devil. All right. I got something for it. Where you at? Where you at? Now we about to play. I was about to say pin the tail on a donkey, but I'm about to pin the angel tarot cards on the angel tarot cards. You got Uriel right on the devil. Now, let's move Uriel before I go into that version of it. This is coming out in the hopes and fears position. I said, what's further advice for the collective? Don't allow yourself to feel stuck because of the past situations you've encountered. Notice how this fucking ram head is showing up here too, as far as what's next. You would have to seriously step into your authority and acknowledge the maturity of the lessons you've gone through, 10808, and be more than prepared and willing to integrate the lessons you have encountered. So much so that the energies around you, the way that they're viewing you, is that you have decided with the Judgment card to trust your subconscious, to trust your intuition, and make moves that are sudden and unexplainable to others. But because you have faith in yourself, you're going to make that move. To others, it may seem challenging with this Knight of Wands, that what you decide to do and the way you decide to move based on your higher mind is unexplainable, so you shouldn't do it. That's none of your business when it comes to other people's perception about the way you about to fucking move. Now, angels, let's play. I'm going to put Uriel back. And look who showed up. Those are heavy hitters. That's Antares, that's Aldebaran, fixed stars energy. It's shit funny. Oh, man. Okay, who's playing? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Daniel? The merciful... Oh, the angelic realm is so hilarious to me. So, no matter what tempts you, the fact that Daniel shows up with eloquence, giving answers to those in doubt. So no matter what comes up against you, this is why I said this challenge, whatever it is that you're fearing is connected to doubt. You're just doubting yourself. Just call on Daniel, King of Wands energy, and the King of Wands showed up here, especially when it comes to what it is that you're making a decision on. Let me get another one. Okay, who's this? Yahuwah, Nine of Pentacles. You may have to do this on your own here. That's the hidden thing. Have the conversation with yourself first. Who else? Hariel, Nine of Swords. Which is the car in the immediate past. So this is recent. 111:01 on the timer. Wow. Purification, protection from the impious religious sentiments. Shit. So we spot on with that. This got to do with what you are connected to as far as divination, occult, mysteries of life, chakras, astrology, numerology, everything that they say is fucking demonic. It's because they don't know themselves. And therefore Kaliel shows up. Justice. Riding with you. Makes truth known in court. Causes innocence to prevail. That was one of the first few cards that showed up here. Severe consequences. Inevitable. Especially with anything that's been messing with your mind. And what's crowning the reading, it has to do with your root, ancestors, familial energies. This could even be an ancestor that's been fucking with you that you think is on your side, but they not. This is why you gotta be mindful as to which ancestors you decide you want to work with. Because some of them have to be healed. And you're working with them, and they out here fucking you up. You working with them, but they sure the fuck won't be working with, that's it. It be that way. Especially for someone who is a bridge or has access to being in connection to the dark and the light and the abyss. So this is, I was about to say trilingual. So there's someone specific that speaks 3 languages minimum. What's in there? 10 of Cups. We got 3 of Cups, Mercury and Cancer. You're getting synchronicities about family members. You're getting synchronicities about family members that's been presenting themselves to you as a challenge. They've overstayed their welcome as far as a lesson in your life. Somebody don't listen. Especially when you're getting rest or you're healing. Some of you possibly are uncomfortable resting because you may have appeared as lazy because of the rest you're getting. They could be part of the misconception of team no sleep. Yeah, literally. They could be part, there goes this 9 of Swords showing up again. They could be part of this energy of team no sleep, where when you don't rejuvenate your body, that's your quickest way to access yourself out this motherfucker. People have so many theories about the way technology is made in connection to bodily vessels or human vessels. And if Dumb motherfuckers, technology has to be charged or placed on the charger. Well, so do you. But see, they have a beautiful concept where they'll keep people in this rat race, take your rest away, your freedom away. You're not fully charged, you're just moving on fumes to get one lazy enough to not actually dive into information that'll assist you with regaining that level of freedom. Freeing the mind, specifically freeing the dome. Yeah. And justice shows up again. Yeah. Because some of you have a certain type of knowledge and ability to remove anything that can prevent you from excelling. You may know about certain runes, sigils that can easily get you out of situations. But you may have family members that feel as though when they go through some shit in the practical realm, all of that knowledge that you have, when it comes to mystical tools or occult tools that are literally used against the people to put them in a position to not really think for their fucking self or have a thought for themselves to get them out the situation. It seems as though collective here is someone who is connected to runes, sigils, numerology, knowing how to use the wheel of your chart. You know how to use planetary hours, the days of the week where you now connect to a lucid moment and you're going through cycles of the strong. Fuck that weak shit. 11, 17, 17 on the timer. You a whole star soul out here. All you have to do is draw up some shit on a piece of paper or reframe your neural pathways of your thought to change something, and it changes. You and another person could be in the same exact situation. And you can do what you do for you and it works perfectly. But for that person, they could share your blood too. Literally family. They can share your blood, but because they're in a different dimension with their own perception, what can actually work for them won't. And the fucking problems that show up constantly will show up for them because they don't fucking listen. But guess what? You don't even have to guess. Know this. You don't have to deal with that anymore. You can handle it now. You can handle it now. Gavel in position. I'm telling you, you can't make this shit up. You've been warning people about the web of control they've been in. Literally warning people, communicating 3 to people, Aquarius, about the power that they have within themselves to weave. Fuck, do I have a... Probably, I don't think I have a dollar bill, but I got 20. Let me see something. you ain't got a dollar bill. I got 20 though. But anyway, even you can see it better on a dollar bill. However, the significance of the web is right up on all up and through there. Okay. And notice what they say. This is on every print, right? Notice what this says. Venus, first and foremost, is also, this is so fucking funny. Venus is this, cash. Where you place it into is Scorpio energy. The mantra of Scorpio, the 8th house, says, I trust. But the one that carries the value of the core of this cash is the hand that it's in. In God, that's you. We trust. This trusts you. If you have a dysfunctional relationship with this baby right here, it's as any other relationship. There's an absence or lack of trust, you can forget it. It's that simple. You can see it much clearer on a dollar bill because you see the entire web on there. It's a very powerful spider. So some of you who, okay, they said specifically there's someone that's going to watch it, so you're in here. When you were born, you didn't get to meet your father because your pops might have passed away by then. And your mom was married. Okay? So you have a very significant, based on what I'm saying, what's being said right now, 122.44. You have a significant relationship to any monetary value. But as long as you don't know your value, it won't know you either. But that's part of the reason why you chose your mother and father too. Why you chose that specific parent, because you knew you wasn't gonna have that father figure, not the one that, you know, was part of creating you biologically. And it may have a situation to do with his own family members as to why he's not here too. But they took the incorrect one out. But they won't be able to take the one that they feel as though should be out either. They'll vanish before doing that. Yep. Yes, they will. Some of you are literally protected by this energy. Now, all queens from deck, are you making that statement in general? Who's God are, when you say we are God to you, who you talking about? See, I don't even usually ask questions. I normally just got you. Bet. Had to be sure, because the statement was lit. Okay, that statement was lit. I love to see it. The fuck. Love, for real, for real. It's time to make this shit a comedy show. You might as well just we, you know what I'm saying? They fucked us over greatly. Look, justice twice. And that's the moon energy, 18 showing up. See, ain't that many, you got people out here that are fucked up. Evil, not so many. Evil is an entity in itself. Evil is wise, smart, intelligent as fuck. You got a lot of dumbass people, stupid ass people. Evil, not so much. They can do horrible shit that don't make them evil yet. I promise you. Evil is a different entity that works on a mass level. It's not gonna do no one-on-one bullshit. It's not. It doesn't. That's too weak of an energy. I'm just saying. When you are aware of yourself and you start breaking through these codes, yeah, you would even embrace the energy because it brings forth a level of your shadow. Just saying, because it's in this word too. But when you've lived and still living, they better go find somebody else to play with, collective. Yeah. Refined, purified. Yeah. The past ignorance of the absence and lack of knowing of one's core values has come to an end. The refinement and the knowledge of it, fine-tuning of it, that has developed over time. This is what I was saying about the image part when we was opening up to that earlier. It could be something about smells. For instance, I ordered sandalwood essential oils. And excuse me, and it was confirmation. It was the first time ordering from this brand. And I received it today. But all day, all lucid moment of yesterday, I was smelling something that I don't have here at all. I said, yo, that just smells good. I opened up the sandalwood. Tell me why that was the same exact scent, not one hint off, not even a bit. So that's very significant. Be mindful of what it is that you're smelling. Me, I'm naturally claircognizant. I hear visions very strong as well. Smell too. But that smell part is getting a lot stronger. It's always been strong, but it's getting a lot stronger. And how you know that your sense of smell or your clair of smelling is getting stronger, or you have it already, you'll be able to smell things in your dreams. In a dream state, you'll be able to smell. So I be telling people, leave me the fuck alone. Go play. Don't even go play with nobody else. You came across me, that's your sign. Stop fucking playing with people. Stop fucking playing. Okay? Choose wisely, motherfucker. Word. What's the outcome? With a Venus in Scorpio. You better go play with somebody else. I love shit that is occultish and shit. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles. The beginning of prosperity. that is untouched by the fuckery. You done got your hands dirty enough. That's your outcome. All is well. You will certainly have to go about this by going within, trusting the truth that is in your hands. Because normally when you see the Hermit card is ancient wise person, a sage holding the lantern, well, more so a lamp. But that word lamp could also be the palm. So trust the cards you've been dealt. I am open for personals, so you can just email me. The only thing you have to do when you email me for a personal reading, know that it's going to be an investment, because the way I do my readings, I show you the cards that you were dealt. We look at your astrology. If you're into human design, we do that. We do it all. But you'll see within the email as well. However, trust the hand that you were dealt. Some of you, there's this gift that you have to read palms. Okay. That's the beginning of process. This is something you're able to do now that you felt as though, nah, that ain't for me. It's because it ain't for you. That's how easy it is. It would be for you. That you just probably have to do it once, and it takes care of you for a lifetime. At least 76 generations thereafter you. That's how serious this shit is. Because it's something you uncover. You take the cover off of this as you're going through the dark night of the soul with the Hermit card. Yeah, it took for you to go through this. No, seriously, it really took for you to go through these sorrow, pains, and regrets. Gratitude for the 100 gift, my love. You got the 9 of Cups and the 5 of Cups with the 2 of Wands. But the Page of Cups, when pigs fly, you won't even believe this shit. You better know it, though. You better know. 132:23 on the time. 14. You're an alchemist, for sure. That's what it has to do with. Is okay. Let me see. Let's pick up on that. Girl, you better bend that back. Okay, so some of you had a Kundalini awakening. Breathe in, breathe out. Not that song for a Kundalini. Well, that makes sense. You got fucking Shiva and shit dancing on my grave. I'm done, bruh. Shiva can meditate for long periods and ages of time. Shiva boy. So there's a rebirth of the divine masculine. And it was something catastrophic that happens that awakens, whether you were female or male, the boy or that energy of the boy, a young divine masculine now is awakening. Something paused after 3. So this could be a mother and your first child is a son. When a mother has a child and the first child is a son, you've completed the cycle. But there could have been something within the DNA that when he reached 3, okay, this is about to get so fucking weird, and I love it. When he reached the age of 3, it was something significant about a particular family member holding him. I'm getting around this time he was probably sick. And it repeated the cycle. It repeated the story again. I feel that so strongly, like literally in between my solar plexus. I feel it right between my belly button and the sacral as I'm saying that. Somebody has twins. The family member may have twins that touch someone's son. Not touch someone's son in the sense of this, the specific scenario I'm being given right now, this is not going to be for everybody. He was 3. He wasn't feeling well. This particular aunt or uncle has a set of twins. Because he was sick, open, and vulnerable at that time, it repeated a cycle that would seem as though the mother had a daughter first. Especially when this enormous gift comes from the mother side. Someone could be born the year of the tiger. There's someone here who's also a reader. You over process the way that you feel that you should read for the collective to understand you. Whether if it's a life path 11, 22, 33, for whatever double digit number comes up when you add up the sum of your birthday, between 11 and 99, messages come to you directly. And it may feel as though, what the fuck? And you feel as though you making shit. No, there's someone who has to hear what you have to say. Whoever it's for, they'll know. Don't worry about the way it sounds. Just say what you have to say. Especially when you find yourself going into this ease. You're going into an ease of saying something that's just coming to your mind. It's not even your mind. That's the problem. You're over processing it. It comes through your heart, and you're able to, as soon as it reaches your heart, you're able to say what happens or what it is as it's rising towards your throat chakra. Especially when you're already in the mode of channeling. Someone is a medium. You certainly have mediumship abilities. You would have to, let's say you're doing lives and things of that nature. You would have to have a certain level of instructions when you're going live, because people will attempt to get you to tell them a message. Let's say you say the name is John. They can't say, oh, the person's name is Johnny. No, because when you're a medium and the spirit is talking to you, they're going to say exactly what it is. It's not anything else. If, let's say, the person's name, someone knows a person named Deborah, but you get the information of Dee Dee, and someone says maybe a Deborah, that's not that person you're talking to, especially if you're doing a live as a medium. Because some of you be hearing stuff and you be feeling as though you look at this. Haru, awakening divine perception, archangel. You have a strong connection to the other side. Yeah. Gemini, lover. Yeah, that's a messenger. You could have strong Gemini placements, king, beast. You could have, yeah, for sure. Or this could even have to do with animals too. Something comes from your grandfather. You carry the wisdom of your grandfather. Yeah, see? The yin and the yang as a mind's eye. You might even feel a sensation of when you got an actual spirit around you, a soul around you that wants to communicate. Especially the fact that the lovers came out, you might even have the connection to dark and light souls. That could also be, don't do any of this type of work if you are in fear. That's one main thing. Don't, just leave it alone. Don't do any type of divination, mediumship if you are afraid of something. Leave it alone. It is. It's just not for you at the moment. But they do have this thing called the EMF, the electromagnetic field, that actually gives you a signal as to when you do have a soul around you. So that can be helpful for you too as a medium. Yeah, we went there with that one. Okay. Yeah, see, somebody's son is a Hierophant. Someone has a son that is either a Taurus or a Hierophant. You really have a son that is very powerful. Hold on. Let me pick this up. I'm going to move this because the way my energy is set up, we going to heal that memory as well from you, baby boy. Give me 1 second. Let me move this out the way, baby. Hold on. I got you. And this boy could be an adult right now, but just unaware because of the ignorance of family. And for that, those family members, yeah, severe consequences are inevitable because they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have moved that way. They should have been more aware. There was too much ignorance being passed on generation to generation to generation to generation. Let me go to my cards. Okay, I'm gonna pick it up. See, what the fuck? I was picking up this entire deck and it didn't let me. And I picked up this amount, but look what was at the top of the rest. See what I'm saying? Sometimes you wish people would just fucking listen to what you have to say. But whatever. Somebody could have a Saturn and Gemini. That came up earlier. That shit came up earlier. There's divine justice when it comes to a Saturn and Gemini attempting to destiny swap with someone who has Saturn and Capricorn. Fucking dummy. That's a dummy. It's a fucking dummy. Access denied. They fucked around and found out. This could be an older generation. They could be in their 50s right now. Yeah. Isa. Stagnation. That which hinders. Rune of control. What's this? The moon. Lunar priestess. Dreams or scrolls. Waters or archives. Encoder of galactic. This is the type of shit that I be sitting here doing when y'all don't see me go live. I just be, 143.43. I just be sitting here remembering and jotting it down on a notepad first or somewhere I can write it. And then I, put into messages on the card where I give you as much information as possible. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see something. Yep, Serpent Charmer. Especially for someone with Capricorn at 8 degrees, you're certainly a healer, magician. You got strong psychic powers. Yes, you do. It's literally my Neptune placement. Neptune in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn. It came out anyway. We got Dagas and Odin. This rune, it depends. Sometimes you'll see it that it's empty or it's the rune that has a lot going on in it. But this is Odin. So crows are significant. The unknowable. Empty is the end, empty is the beginning. Phoenix from the ashes, it rises from fate. Surrender of control, spiritual warrior. Trust that the universe will make self change in your ongoing life progress. And then we have Ansus, the box. For some of you, my divine feminines, your box, your literal punani is a breakthrough. So use it wisely. Okay? Thank you. Awakening, enlightenment, invisibility, incommunicable, paradox, non-duality. Time is an illusion that once realized is lovingly embraced nonetheless. Transmutation, unity, non-dual reality. Attaining the mystical moment through the penetration of the secret of non-duality. Yeah, this shit right here. So you got this. Moving beyond duality, the serpent charma. That means when you get around people, in simple terms, when you get around people, you put them through a kundalini rising. If there's somebody that is hating on you, this is why people should be getting fucked up in their life, because your presence, your existence is a kundalini rising activation. And if that shit within a person, when they encounter you and they're not ready for it, you know that term, all hell breaks loose? Literally. Everything that is sitting beneath the heart chakra that they haven't handled, and they sitting here dealing with the motherfucker, it rises up to the surface to be handled. And if a motherfucker want to keep dealing with shit, that's the problem. That becomes the problem, not your problem. And it's very easy for people to make it your problem. But if you're not aware of it, you will accept that as the problem. You're not over here on this channel to continue to do that, though. Okay. Because what is it? Yep. What is it? Right, right, right. Get on my nerves. Listen, you're most welcome, beloved. Feel as though now we grooving now. Okay, now I'm moving as I'm guided. Y'all better keep up. Buckle up, buttercup. We about to move now. Yeah, the year of the horse. Oh, this shit should have been the other, whatever. But the next one is next year. The fire horse. This is the card that came out first. So somebody could have the RC, August could be of significance in terms of someone that was attempting to cleanse their energy from you and they just binded themselves. Stupid motherfucker. You ask me. That's basically an energy that don't mind their fucking business. That's what happens. When people don't mind their business and just doing too much and want to get into certain information, occult spirituality, and we see you, Sagittarius. It's the season of Sagittarius. We see you. The goat. But anyway, when people sitting out here just doing stuff because they feel as though they know what you know, but you be discerning. Be discerning. Because a lot of times people don't know what it is that is encountering them within another bodily vessel or human vessel that's coming into their life as a lesson, the final lesson, the finals, literally the finals, which allows them to graduate. And they treat that shit as if it's fucking primary school. Yo. Nah, yo. We ain't doing all that. I want to see this because the fact that it showed up within the midst of all of that was fast. What's this? The Star, Aquarius. This card reminds me of Nicki Minaj every time. Are her titties out? Yes, they are. Whatever. Five of Cups. I told you. Sorrow, pains, and regrets. Somebody gonna be real sorry. See a car could be involved that someone attained in August. Or this could be of significance. Someone's name could include that. August in it. North Carolina could be of significance. Six of Cups, Five of Cups, Six of Cups. Hold on. Wait, let me see something. This is why it's been stagnant, is what I heard. This is why it's been stagnant. But it moves, year of the horse. Everybody gonna be moving fast as shit as soon as January here, I promise you. Well, mid-January. Fire horse energy. Yeah, you gonna... If you've been feeling as though you've been slowing down on your creativity or creative projects, it's for a reason. Because come the year of the horse, fire horse, is when you gonna find yourself getting going. So allow yourself to get the rest now. Get the rest now because you're gonna be on go. You're gonna be on go. You're gonna be beyond your goal is also what's being stated. I'm also hearing shut the fuck up. The death card, yeah. Doing too much. Doing too fucking much. That's why shit still stay the same way. Just doing too fucking much and doing nothing at all at the same fucking time. Shut up. Okay. Prince of Cups. Yeah, this shit is over with. The transformation is healing. The transformation is healing. What's changing? The change is there's healing from something of the past that had a lot to do with sorrow, pains, and regrets. Because of that, that could be, okay, you collective, right, are in a position that you decided, all right, I'm going to balance this shit out to move beyond duality. Boom. This comes up. So now there's a new offer. This could be a text message or the way social media moving right now. You might see somebody that you've been desiring to have a connection with that represents that when you are actually balancing out situations of the past, this person might spam your page in the sense that they are aware of you. There's something in connection to a desire that shows up, basically. Dang, these cards are just temperance, yeah. You were patient in alchemizing this energy. Led to gold. Led to gold. Three of Wands, yeah, literally on its way. There's a lot that it had to break through, though. That card is, although the images are, you know, quite electric, but I'm getting an energy of busyness. Busy in the sense of when you get a busy signal on a phone, you can't reach a person. So whatever this is that is on its way to you cannot be obstructed by someone else's energy moving forward. And you may even begin to voice that, yeah, speaking of, that Kundalini rising energy we was talking about earlier. Breathe in, breathe out. got the best. And nah, yeah, this shit coming in quick. Eight of Wands, Mercury inside. It could be while Mercury is inside. Your Mercury is inside right now. What is this coming in right now? Mercury inside. Mercury inside. Come on, Aunt Goddess. Come on, Oria. Oria, what it is? 10 of Cups. Oof. For all of the work you have been putting in, the challenges that you have been encountering with Saturn, something wasn't grown for a while and is breaking through, and it's breaking through in environments where it's not supposed to, quote unquote. You wasn't supposed to grow. You reached the crystal city though. Fuck all that. Fatima, what is this little ancient, not ancient, Asian symbol that be showing up on the screen? I literally blocked somebody because I thought they was typing some other shit. But what is that other stuff in the beginning of what y'all be saying for real? What's that other shit in the chat? Hold on. Okay, babes. I'm back. Fatima, what's good, baby? 10 of Cups. Communication about fulfillment of an idea, a resonance that you've been calling to you, some emotional fulfillment. It's been at a distance for a while though, because when it comes to the distance between animals and humans, falcons have a much, obviously a much further ability to see us from a further distance. What exactly, to be exact, I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't recall. Not that I remember. I don't recall right now. But the fact that it's here, this is something that's already been alchemized for you from either a past life. Again, I pick up a lot on past life energies. So let me see. Hold on. Let me see something. Let me look at it. This could have been someone who was protecting you in a past life, a knighthood. The challenge has to do with lessons and blessings. Let me see. Get grounded. Saturn. Highly sensitive. Empaths. Connect with nature. This is significant. Either dream-wise, a grandfather that has this type of watch, or someone loves collecting watches. Modern or antique. In the past life, they could have been within a religious establishment, and you have that same level of discipline when it comes to your beliefs now. There's something about a baby in the past life, a karmic relationship, a baby, communal living. Something happened within a community with, because you had a baby with this is given Magdalene and Christ energy. But anyway, because you lived in this community, this that's that baby boy. There it goes again. This is the third time this baby boy shows up. I ain't talking about Jody, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, wars and battles, awakening. Yeah, something regards to someone's belief systems, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Jupiter. Yeah, persecution. The challenge had to do some. Okay, so there's obviously an energy within the collective here where you have this wonderful ability as a high priest, oracle, sage, a mystic, someone who is quite mystique in nature, but your past life is not allowing you to fully utilize that gift. For each and every one of you, how specific that's going to be is there's a habit you have in connection to your south node that you're using in this current lifetime in connection to your purpose in a malfunctioning way, meaning that the south node characteristics are more at the forefront than the north node characteristics should be. So I could give you an example where me, I have a north node in Pisces and a south node in Virgo as a moon in Virgo as well. So it's very easy for me to tap into the practical sense of things and the way that it's going and to analyze it instead of just feeling it and just flowing as waterwood Pisces, but go as deep as the sea can go with Pisces energy, but still be able to express that in a way that it sounds as though I'm being detailed. Sounding as though I'm being detailed is me using characteristics of a south node in Virgo. You see what I mean? So, and a lot of times what helps you to break through that is the fears that comes with the comfort you have of moving in the south node version of yourself instead of using it as a tool. Something, okay, let's say for instance, if you got a south node in Taurus, and speaking of cash, you have a south node in Taurus and a north node in Scorpio. You might be someone who holds on to money and you want to save so fucking much, which actually translates to the universe that you're not ready to be in a position of power or around people of power that can actually increase your value. You have way of making cash easily, but your south node in Taurus is going to put you in a state of fear of doing that because you may have, you know, either not invested correctly or you have a fear of investment because every time you did invest in whatever time frame you were in and what investment meant during that age or time frame, it didn't work out for you the way you expected it to. But it had a lot to do with where you were placing your value, Scorpio, where you were placing that trust. Once again, going back to this baby right here. Okay. There we go. Align your life. There goes that spiel. So I have to see and close this out, and I need to. And I don't need to do shit, but I need to check on this baby boy here. I have to. I desire to. What's going on with baby boy? Let me see something. Why that just what's going on with this baby boy? What's going on, baby? Let me see. (8:18) Leo. Something's cold. Something cold. Cold. Cold as in frío, chill. Ascended Master Life Path. The Most High. 313. This baby boy is fully human and fully divine. Is part of the 13th bloodline. Sapphire, Neptune, Uranus, Cosmos, Neptune, Uranus. Something's gonna happen suddenly. Pallas Athena. They may have a connection. There's that. Someone is a child of Anubis in another lifetime or another culture or sector of the globe. Athena, Egypt and Greece, January. Manifesting the way they speak. Manifesting the way you speak. Divine Feminine Queen to an Empress. Santa Malta. This is this baby. I was about to say religious. So somebody could be religious and it's blocking their gifts. Someone's religious and is blocking their gifts. I just got a headache when I said that. 166.44 on the timer. 166.44. 160. What's 166.44? They had to learn to love themselves for a long time. That's 10, 10, 11. That's a code. They're a code. They're a code embodied soul. Year of the ox, born 85, 73, or 97. My palm just started itching. So if you're someone who's actually born the year of the ox, going into the year of the horse, view it as a Saturnian year. Look at it as resistance makes you stronger, because it's gonna be quite a ride if you're born the year of the ox. Oxes, or is it actually rats? For sure, rats. The year of the horse. That's why I said perceive it as though it's the gym. When shit resists you, when the weight gets heavier, you're getting stronger. Especially if you can continue to do your reps. If you're unable to continue to do your reps, that means you got to get stronger. You have to activate yourself appropriately. You have to be more consistent when it comes to you lifting certain levels of resistance. You're going to have to stay on it. You know what I mean? And if you have a sun during this fire horse year, just know that one right there, the ancestors gonna be protecting him like as if nobody's business, even from you if you fuck them over as their parents. So just be mindful. I'm just saying. So if you don't want that, you know what you gotta do. The letter B. Yes, boy. It's definitely, it's certainly a boy. Yep. Source. Anybody that trespasses against that baby boy, they will be living in the life of sin, missing the target everywhere they go. That's what sin is. You just missing the target. Fifth pillar is the center axis mundi, the living current that connects above and below, within and beyond it is. the embodied spirit, the divine will incarnate, the unifying principle that animates and harmonizes the other four. It is the spine, the breath between pillars, the serpent rising in the temple, in the body, the channel between the root and the crown, in the voice, word made flesh. In Solomon's temple, the pillar not named but implied between Boaz and Jachin, which are the two, which is the B and the J that you see in the high priestess cards. What sits in the middle of the B and the J, the pillar, is the feminine energy. It's the fifth pillar, literally. It's the 0-point axis, the Sophia Christos column, sacred feminine wisdom rising to meet divine will, the seat of divine judgment and mercy united. That's a very powerful baby. Now, if it's a baby girl, she has the energy of a healed divine masculine. So she will be prominent in developing her energy within her divine feminine principles. Yes. Yes. Cutie patootie. Little cutie patootie. Okay. Ooh. She gonna shake the world too. Apparently. Protected. In a past life, she didn't have the parents she desired. She went through quite a cycle of forgiveness, which that's giving that energy for sure, where they are aware what they came here to do, and that child would possibly be the energy of one who has a lot of information of the other side, and they have a lot to say. Give them the platform, develop a platform for them, because some of them might be speaking from the time, clearly by the time they're 3. Okay. All right, my loves. We are all set for this evening. May you all have a blissful evening. And I love you very much. Ciao.